Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to just look at Bitcoin, its valuations against the US dollar. It has rebounded back. If we look at the daily, this is the daily chart, we have rebounded back to prior levels the past 2 days. Remember, if you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. Well, this past week has been tumultuous. Um, it's currently Friday. We are currently above the 200-day moving average. We are still above the 20-week moving average. The battle between the bulls and the bears continues on. It will continue on until the end of the week. Personally, I think, and that is simply because I personally value the 20-week moving average more than the 200-day. As you can see, with at least the 200-day, we have been fighting in and out of this moving average for the past week. We've been above it for the past for 3 days of the week, and then the fourth day being today, if we close above it. Yesterday we closed below it, so very tumultuous fight. And ultimately, I think it's going to be decided within the coming week, in the weeks to come, um, so on and so forth. I think we need at least, the way I see it is that once we have a clear close above the 20-week moving average, um, it's not going to be instantaneous, but we should then rise further above the 20-week moving average, which would become a decisive move past the 200-day moving average. Sorry, move further up above the 20-week moving average, creating a more decisive, clear move on the 200-day moving average, and um, and this is where we get our confirmation, right? And once that confirmation happens, how will it look like, right? Well, um, you know, we don't have much instances when of Bitcoin leaving the 20-week moving average the first time around. In most cases, it actually gets rejected. But if we look at one of the few examples that we have, which is actually this past year, this area right here, you could see that the move was pretty impressive, right? We went from a move from roughly $10,000, and we didn't test 20-week moving average until we for months, right? So this is possibly the move that we could see coming from Bitcoin in the short term, right? And this brings us to roughly to the end of the year. And if we do the exact same price moves, then we'd move up, get to like $50,000, kind of retrace down, and then the second leg we get to $60,000, where we then test the 20-week moving average. And I think that's pretty healthy. In fact, I think this is probably the healthier approaches when looking at the Bitcoin and the 20-week moving average. We can also just taking other examples of Bitcoin getting back above the 20-week moving average, we can have something that just goes straight up. And when we look at something to go straight up, it changes my perception of Bitcoin, right? If we go straight up like this, and essentially it's the same kind of trend. If we continue on this trend, this would bring us to about $114,000 by year's end, right? By October, actually. Now, personally, I don't think this is very viable, but I'll keep an open mind. If it continues up, it continues up, right? So with that said, I don't think this is necessarily viable, but I will keep in mind. Keep in mind, if this situation happens where Bitcoin just continues to go straight up, um, altcoins will probably not be strong enough to catch up or keep up. If you remember back in 2019 about this move here, altcoins didn't really do much. Ethereum didn't do much, Cardano didn't do much, Chainlink I don't think really moved that high. Um, from its relative lows. I know Basic Attention Token and Binance Coin actually in this area actually moved up pretty quickly, but all in all, in general, altcoins probably wouldn't catch up. So this is not necessarily the move that we kind of hope for Bitcoin. We want to see a more solid, more slow approach, if anything, getting a decisive move up moving sideways above the 20-week moving average, showing confidence, and then continuing up on the way down, further down the line. But this is essentially what could be happening with Bitcoin. Again, the daily shows that it's a tumultuous fight, and I don't think we'll have a clear picture of a clear winner until the end of the week. At least when referencing the 200-day, it's just too close to call. I think if anything, the last 2 days showed that the bears still have some kind of say within the price of Bitcoin right now. And funny enough, it is a time when it's probably one of the more important moments in Bitcoin's price action during this cycle. It's a pretty defining moment if we're able to close above the 20-week moving average during now, essentially, because this kind of kicks off the second leg of the run for Bitcoin, which gets people excited, which then creates more risk taking within the altcoin market, and this will most likely help us push to a new all-time high for Bitcoin. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.